Good morning, traders and investors. Welcome to Wednesday, September 1st edition of Pre-Market Prep with Stock Odds. Joel Elkanah joined here with Mr. Rob Friesen here on this choppy Monday morning here. Let me run down the indexes and a few of the commodities here, and then we'll move into Rob and find out what Stock Odds had to say about the first day of the trading month. S&P futures, they're up $6 and 6.5 handles at 45.27. Pre-market high 45.40. That came up just shy of that all-time high that was made in pre-market trading on Tuesday. That was 42.25. On the downside, we took out that pre-market low, but couldn't make it to the close of 20.50. That low at 21.75, just hanging out here right around the last after hours print. Crude, another sprint into the 69 handle, was rejected, down 63 cents to 67.87. Gold, we got a big number up here at 18.26. Can't get through there, down $3.80 at 18.14.20. Silver, that's the champ today. That's up 23 cents at 24.24. Bitcoin, it's up 0.61%, $290 at 47,680. But that's nothing compared to Ethereum, who makes a new high for the move. Currently trading up $143.75 at 35.81. That's a 4.18% gain for Ethereum versus 0.64 for Bitcoin. Now stop the screen share for a second here and bring in Rob Friesen from Stock Odds Bright Trading. Having a busy morning there, huh, Rob?
Yeah, one sec here.
Okay. All right. As Rob adjusts, boy, we got some interesting things going on today here, and I'm just surprised that this index is just not ripping the face off the bears. You have Apple trading up $3 at a new all-time high, 154.87, just trading off the high of the session. You have Mr. Softy up $2.06 at 303.94. Amazon up $37, 35.08. The Googster up 21.82 at 29.31.06, and then Facebook up $1.98 at 381.42. So there you have the top components just blowing things away. But the index here won't even break into the 45.30 handle. Good morning, Rob. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, just one sec.
All right. And I didn't even share my charts on that. So let me bring up the charts and see what they look like here as far as screen share here. Boom. Here we go. There's the Apple busting out. Just hit 54.87, as I mentioned. Microsoft pair highs up there. We took out at 304.50, but now we're back below that level. Amazon working its way to fill the gap. It gapped up to fill the gap. And there's Google, I'm sure, at a new all-time high. So let's also take a look at some stocks that we covered this morning and see how it turned out. We had talked about Lucid Motors, LCID, rug pull on the pipe offering. And boy, oh boy, everyone waiting for 15 get a big nothing done here. The low, they just were pounding this in pre-market trading, and you had the pre-market low come in really between 9 and 9.15. Got pretty close to 15, 15.26, the next bracket 15.50. So you finally did get that up candle, and then off to the races. The green bar starts the regular session. So LCID we talked about. I want to just check on Wells Fargo here, and Wells Fargo. This is bad news, folks. News out yesterday of the SEC looking into some kind of repayment practices, and man, oh man, or not. I don't know who the SEC. It was the SEC, but that's a couple ugly bars there. No hope for Wells Fargo shareholders today. Made quick work of that $45 area, and now dip under 43. perhaps that might be it for today. That's a $1.80 move, but who knows? Momentum to the downside. We'll do one more. We'll do one special for Negus here. He's asking about LMND lemonade, and he caught it. This is what Negus did here. I'm reading his mind, and he was looking at this, and he's like, Joel loves a bunch of highs in the same area, and these highs were at 76.50, right? Is that what we have? 76.50. What was your 2-day high? A little bit lower than that. 76.15. Where were these other highs? 77.09, 77.02, 76. So I guess 77 was the breakout, but Vegas anticipated the breakout. He got in at 75. I like this move here. I'm not sure what the news is, but this is a stock that sold off, made a low of the move, consolidated, move up, consolidated, and now you got another leg higher. I'm just going to give you a daily target on this of 81.19. That was your high on August 12th, and didn't have a good day that day. But clean, just move the stop up. Let them take you out on the downside instead of the upside. And S&Ps, as I talked about, the top components just kicking butt. They get the S&Ps up over 45.27. Currently trading 7.5 handles at up 7.5 handles, 45.28. Good morning to you, Jar Jar. Let's see, Jar Jar with his J&J. Ooh, there it is. Man, fourth, I guess there is such thing as a quad bottom if this holds. Jar Jar playing it from the short side. One more for Jar Jar here, and then Rob. I hope Rob's ready after this one because I'm sure you people are sick of hearing me. Donkey Kong, DraftKings. I guess you could call it a breakout. You cleared the two highs at 60. Let's see what happens at 61.77. That's the next daily target. So in the 62 handle, yeah, I would say a breakout, but 61.77. Just want to, I do or I not want to look at Penn. Penn's up $1.74. Okay, Rob. 10 minutes of me. We need some of you. How you doing?
Okay, stop sharing and we'll share here.
Okay,
there we go. First off, I just need to let people know that always check your dates before you utilize the data, because there can be a couple times a year we have a disruption through things sometimes beyond our control. So like any data vendor, it can be down. So the last update was the 30th. So the data for yesterday was good, but you can't use the 30th for today's action, right? So
well, you could.
We're kind of dead in the water today on that, and apologies to subscribers. As far as going to those that are using the web screener, the SSL certificate there was renewed, but it didn't take because we're on Amazon hosting, so there was a glitch. So if you go to the site, it says, warning, warning. Well, it's safe. It's just that the SSL isn't renewed, okay? So you can just make an exception in your browser and or your bit blocker or whatever you got going, and it'll go through, okay? Our apologies. It's one of those issues like with trading, and we could, trading is one of those industries where you can have a power outage, your internet can go down, your trading platform, it's not working, dividends don't get adjusted, all kinds of things can happen in this business. So anyway, we'll rectify
blank
that
happens, right? Here. Blank happens.
Yeah, it does. I just noticed something on the advancers over decliners this morning. So this was the SPY here after hours, and then here's our pre-market. We had this premium and we started to dissipate. And what was interesting to me is how, the bulk of the stocks, really opened aggressively, even though we'd pulled back on the market. So as that pullback happened, definitely looking for that turn, and you can see the the advancers of decliners turning there. So that shows that there's a little bit more breadth coming into the market from what we saw right out of the gate as things kind of pulled back. So just always keep your indicators going. They're very helpful, and you know, kind of correlate them to each other. So that was a bit surprising to me that though we had pulled back already on the SPY so much from the high pre-market, that stocks were still opening aggressively. That's usually on a turn of the month effect.
Yeah, I was just going to
You
ask
usually get that anyway, right? On the turn of the month effect, you usually have very aggressive sentiment as capital is redeployed. But September, you know, hasn't historically been one of those big starts to the first day of the month. So so anyway, little bit aggressive, I think, but nonetheless, we've been in that. Look at the performance for August. Overall, expecting 0.7% and seeing it come in over 3. I mean, very aggressive month. Everybody loves Powell, and what do we got? 0 interest rates forever and universal basic income for everyone, right?
Sign me up.
Sign me up. So anyway, that's the context there, and yes, it is still the first day of the month, which, you know, there can be that reposturing. So typically the way that things work is that you've got mutual funds that deploy capital a lot in the first few days of each month, not always to the same degree each month. Obviously, we've mentioned that before, as this sort of August and September are typically not highly institutionally orientated. Then you have, you know, lots of firms out there that do different things, no different than Kathy Wood's firm, you know, was buying on the dip there, some of the technology names that she wants, including Robinhood and stuff like that. So, you know, there's always people out there that are working and are waiting for something to go on sale. So just keep that in mind. But typically the, you know, institutional landscape is a little bit of pulling back on the last trading day of the month. And we saw that. We were right in line with our expectation for yesterday, how the SPY pulled back just a little bit, and that was, you know, expected. And then in the beginning of the new month, there's that redeployment of capital. So for most months, what we're looking for is discount prior to the seasonal window at the end of the month. So you're looking for some discount right before that. For September, the discount would happen on expiration Friday, or just maybe a day or two even after that. That's the window that we're looking for discount. And then we're looking for a rally into the end of the month, a bit of a pullback, you know, possibly at any time. But September is supposed to finish strong, which is, you know, not as normal as other months. Most months finish weaker right at the last day. And so the posture for any types of events is, if you have the numbers, if you have the context, if you have that expectation, you're simply looking for a great argument to get involved when something's on sale. Right? I mean, it's no different than even as we were looking at, say, ahead of the Olympics, some of the sponsors and some of the baskets that could be deployed. You're still looking for, hey, Toyota was a sponsor. It performed great. It beat out the other automakers, Honda and everything, because it was a sponsor for the Olympics. It did work. The baskets did work like that. But you don't want to be chasing something. You want to be able to buy it on discount. Same thing when you come into the Russell 2000 or the Russell rebalancing, all Russell 1000, 2000, 3000 at the end of June, right? The last Friday of June, you have the final rebalance for the Russell. Well, when's a great time to get in some of those stocks that are going to be added? Maybe they're moving from the Russell 2000 to the 1000, right? Maybe they're moving from the S&P 500 to the 100, S&P 100. What's a great time to buy those things? If you anticipate that, if you have news on that, if you've calculated your market caps and you've figured out for yourself what's going to be added, well, great time to buy it is ahead of the event when there's something on at a discount. So we've always got our radar out for like, what are the seasonal events? You know, what are the rebalancing? What is being added to the S&P? You know, what is being taken away? Anything that you can get your hands on as far as information. But that information alone is not enough, because information could have you pay way too much for the opportunity, right? It could have you get scared and sell at a discount. So you have to frame the information with what is the opportunity to get in at a great price. And so ahead of the seasonality window, if we look at our calendar and we see a really great month upcoming, and it's very robust, last 5 days of the month, last 3, we're looking for, you know, day 8, day 7, day 6. Can we get a discount? And you know what? The market is usually providing that. It has this generous moment of like, everything's on sale and you can pick it up ahead of the seasonal window. So just keep that in mind as you look through the seasonality almanac and things like that. Okay.
Rob, do you have like different accounts for different time frames?
You can have, you know, there's some brokerages that allow you to have sub accounts where you can do some position trading. And the good thing about separating it, if you can have that segregated situation, no different than your bank accounts. You might have a bank account where, you got to pay your house taxes or whatever. So you put the money aside in that, and then when the time comes, you have it, right? So just like with your bank, brokerage firms sometimes allow you to have sub accounts, and that can be really good for, running different strategies and having a longer term strategy in one account.
Yeah, because the reason I'm asking is because like you talk about some of these trades of over the longer term horizons where you're looking, obviously those trades are not going to turn out in one day. So I was wondering if you segregated the trades, 2 different accounts for this, because sometimes you're talking about 2-3 weeks in advance.
Right.
So if you have all that stuff in the same account, and a day trading account can be a little bit confusing.
Right. So even though that our other screens weren't updated for today, the one that you have always way ahead of time is the seasonality. So like that, we were looking at that already, days before. So if you were looking for some opportunities, nothing changed in this category because that's curated from what has happened in the past. So all of the other data is what's happened most recently, or you can go look back in the different, look back periods and pick any day and look at any event. But generally, if you're looking for signals like momentum, RSI, MFI, percent B, or streaks or anything, that's going to be the most recent data that you're looking at, and you want to know what's going to happen subsequently. With seasonality, any of these choices here, well, again, if we go over to the 3rd Friday of the month expiration, we're already looking ahead of time at what the symbols are that are being brought to the surface, and the same thing applies to the ETFs. You can look at it that way too and say, okay, what's expected on the ETF side heading into the 3rd Friday of September, or heading into the last 5 trading days. You'll be able to see this ahead of time. So nothing in the data is affected here. Okay, seasonality is always fresh and generated based on what's happened in the past, and it's from close to close of that time frame. So it would be from the close of the Thursday before the last Friday until the close of the Friday. Okay, so always maintain that context. I think we had one of our users of this seasonality almanac said that they put on a great swing trade, and it was really nice to hear about how they used that with a couple symbols that belong to an ETF against the ETF in a nice swing trade. So keep if any of that stuff, keep it coming and let us know.
Okay.
Both the questions, any issues you have, as well as some kudos if you can, do some good trades. Okay.
Right. Okay. Rob, why don't I want to ask you just about a couple of stocks today. Do you have the updated information, or like if I
I,
asked?
I can go to the 30th and look at what it might have been for 3 or 5 days if you want. Sure.
Okay. How about Wells Fargo?
So we'll take from the 30th. We can take a 3-day approach, I guess,
Yep.
on that, right?
Yep.
We can do RSI too, see what it was saying. So put in Wells Fargo. So the backdrop to Wells Fargo was over the 3 days was positive on an RSI, on a momentum level. When did the shift kick in on that?
Well, it looks like there was a little
Just
selling
yesterday
on
or the
Monday.
day before? Okay.
Monday, I mean, this is the third down day in a row. Monday it started to kick in. Tuesday had the news, and today's the follow through.
Right. Well, we're not getting it on the 31st. So that
Okay.
that's the problem. That's the issue. So I really, I can't really help you
All right,
other than
all
the
right.
longer term.
Why don't you release the screen to me here,
Okay.
and we just got a few minutes here before we wrap things up. S&Ps are just battling that 4530 area. 4530, that's correct. 4531's mid range on the day. That's what we need to get up to and hold. And I'd be confident that we could test the pre-market high. We're gonna wrap it up here in a few minutes. If you guys want to, we just did one ticker here. We did LMND. We did DraftKings. If you guys want to throw in a ticker or two here before we wrap things up,
Now
we
you
could.
can share your charts and you can go through it. I can
Okay.
comment too on technicals. I'm
Yeah.
not just quantitative, so.
Yeah, you're well rounded. Jar Jar or Vegas, anybody, if you got any tickers that you want us to take a look at here, going into the final 4 hours of the session, we can do that. And if not, we can. Oh, there we go. Vegas comes up with one. Rob, not sure what you're going to be able to do with your data, but VSCO, and this is I own this one,
You want to share
and
your screen?
yes, thank
That'd be
you.
great. That'd be great.
So I'm kind of confused by this one because I had the L brands, and then I know the L brands spun off. I know I have some of this. I should probably do a little bit more homework on this, but this is Victoria's Secret. Just came out, a new issue, and you know what I mean, it had a really nice run from 40 to over 75. And now it's catching its breath. I think the only thing I can really tell you here is that you got an important support level that you need to hold. And let's see, this comes in. What's this low here? That low is 64.36. And then on Monday, you hit 64.70. So let's just call that a very important area. Let's call it 64.50. So the only thing, if you take out that 64.50, folks, you got some room on the downside here. You have a pair of lows in the 56.50 area. So I'd be keeping a close eye on 64.50. Now, if this is the rebounds here in the VSCO, my expectation would be for this to catch your bounce here and get back up. The 50% is right around 70. And then what do you know? You have a couple highs at 70.47 and 70.70, 70.50. So if this is if this was just a minor pullback and a strong stock, I expect it to go back to the 70, 70.50 area, hold, and then make a run at the high. The longer it takes to take that, oh, it did take it back once and then it failed again. So this is taking its second shot of recouping 50%. So we have that $70 area, 64 to 70. That will dictate the next move. What do you have for me, Rob? You have anything on this one, or it's hard with the data?
Oh, can't. Yeah, nothing
Can't?
on the data
Okay.
side. Okay.
All right, let me know. And then I'm going to do two more. We're going to, Lulu has the earnings coming up, and the street is not leaning short into the report. I don't think they did report yet. Boom. Mm-hmm. I think I have to give you the support down here at 387, and you got your major resistance. This is in the middle of nowhere. It looks a little bit weak. Uh, I don't have anything definitive for you. I think you need to clear today's high at 402. Had a bad day yesterday. So as long as we're staying above the low from this 384.36 low, I think you're okay. But if the numbers come out, look at that 386.50 level as support, and then the all-time high hit there twice, 417.85. And then you were up in that area again. 413. That's we're looking at Lululemon. And then Dan back. One more, the House of Mouse. I haven't looked. Ooh, nice move here. Been in a trading range. This is going back up to the earnings day. I remember this. So boom, where did it settle on that day? Oh, it settled cheap. Not much up here until 187.58. Man, tough one here, folks. I think I'd use an intermediate level today because that's quite a ways away. And I think of this 185 area. I do see two highs right in that area for a shorter term target today, but looking to get back all the red bar from the earnings. So that's it, folks. We're going to wrap it up today here on the first day of the trading month, September 1st. Pre-market prep with StockOdds with you, and back with you guys tomorrow morning. If you haven't had enough of me today, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be back on this channel with pre-market prep at the close. So hope to see
All
you
right.
all then. Have a good day.
All right. Cheers.